This is crucial.
Do you want to make big profits or find really cool, unique items in abandoned storage units, but you just don't know how to get started? Well, don't worry, we got you.
Well, you know what? You can just sit back and relax.
First off, you got to know where to find them. Locker Fox is a great website to find storage units, and it's very easy to use. You click View Auctions, and you put your zip code in, and then boom, it generates all kinds of auctions that are inside your local area. These other two websites are very similar, storageauctions.com and storagetreasures.com, which is actually my personal favorite.
So this is crucial.
It's crucial.
When your first storage unit, some of you might get overexcited and forget these things, but it's very important to have these things when you do your first storage unit. So first, you're gonna want a bag. Any kind of bag, any good old bag to keep your items in, and you definitely want to keep it in the vehicle all the time so you don't forget it. Heavy duty, ultra strong trash bags, because in a lot of these storage units, there's a ton of trash. Things that you can't even imagine would be in there. You're gonna wanna have a box of gloves because you don't know what you might touch. You don't know what is in there, and we've had our fair share of interesting surprises.
Is this an interesting surprise or what?
Also, it could be dirty. Could be dirty things, dirty clothes, dirty underwear, dirty...
That's gross.
You name it, we've seen it. A ginormous jug of hand sanitizer in case you forget to put the gloves on and you accidentally touch something gross. It's happened to me, it's happened to Ken, so. Also, a secondary pair of gloves in case you have to move heavy things to protect your hands, because those gloves aren't going to protect your hands from moving heavy furniture. So I always have a pair of these, and I also have like a leather pair. You want to have a tape measure, depending on what kind of vehicle you have, and depending if you're going to sell things right from the unit on Facebook Marketplace, because people are going to want the measurements. So this is a crucial thing to have in your bag. Another crucial thing, a box cutter. We all know why we need a box cutter, right? So we definitely need a box cutter. This is important. They're not very expensive. A pair of scissors in case you need to cut up something, cut through something. The box cutter won't work. These are important to have. Again, you can get a pair of these at the $1.25 store. Now, you definitely want to have some of these. And I say that because some of the smells and things in these units, you don't know. You don't know if a rat's been living in there. You don't know if there's dead rats in there. You don't know if there's, urine and things like that. So what you want to make sure that you have something for your nose and mouth, because breathing in urine and feces can cause you to get extremely sick with something called the virus. Also, some of the smells are just horrible. And if you've seen any of my videos, you will probably hear me complain when I'm not wearing a mask and it stinks. You're also going to need some type of a broom and a dustpan, because to get your cleaning deposit back, you need to clean up all the debris and empty that into one of those trash bags before you leave. So that's my tip on the items you're going to need when you do your first unit.
That's interesting.
All right, folks, so what's your budget? You really need to think about how much money you're willing to spend before the excitement kicks in and you're towards the end of the bid and you overspend your load when you're just getting started.
There's no budget.
That's not right.
Now, I'll tell you, there's so many units that you can get out there to practice that will cost you under $100, and that's what I would recommend if you're just getting started. For your first unit, so you can get to know the experience, spend less than $100. And also note, there's some other fees, some hidden fees that are involved. It's going to be at least $100, usually inside cash, for a deposit that they're going to keep to make sure you clean out that unit. And if you don't clean out that unit, they're going to keep your money. Also, there's going to be a percentage that you have to pay to the online storage auctions, whether it's Storage Auctions, Locker Fox, or Storage Treasures. They're going to charge you a premium. They got to get their cut too. And you got to take a look at the website and see how much extra that's going to cost. Sometimes it's a flat fee, $10, and sometimes it's 17, 18%. So factor that in when you bid on your first unit. How much do you want to spend? I think all fees included, getting $100 back. You can get started with $200, $100 for the deposit and $100 for the unit and all the fees associated. Good luck.
You can do this, man. Come on.
The next thing on the list is building relationships. So you want to build relationships with the people, the manager of the storage units. And because by being kind, by being nice, you get into a pickle and you might need an extra day, they can help you and they will help you if you're nice and kind with them. Also, you want to perhaps leave a good review for the facility. I know that myself, by me doing that for some facilities, they've given me way more than the 72 hours and worked with me there. Also, once in a while, if you can afford it, if you have the extra money, bring a pizza, buy them a lunch if you can. It doesn't have to be expensive. It could just be McDonald's.
Brought you some peach cobbler.
Oh, thank you. You also want to build relationships with other resellers. Like, for instance, we have some people that'll come and take furniture because they sell furniture. And so we have a good relationship with them. We have other people that sells on Whatnot, and she sells plus size women's clothing. Doesn't matter the brands, as long as they're in good condition. And so we trade or we do things with our friend Maribel for her Whatnot auction. We have some relationships with some people that actually bring toys and things, kids' clothes to Mexico. And so we do some things with them. We have a friend that does it units himself also, but he gets many, many at a time. He gives us all the clothes and he'll come take furniture from us also. Then, moving on from that point, if you can, make a relationship with the place you're going to be donating at. So if you can, like I said, if you can afford a one pizza to bring to the guys that are working outside taking your donations at the Goodwill, bring them a pizza. Not every time, just once in a while. And they're going to appreciate you and they're going to just help you out and move your stuff. Do not bring them a bunch of trash, because if you do that, you could get banned from dropping off donations. I know people that are banned from dropping off donations because of doing that kind of thing. So that's what I have for you today, and hopefully this works and helps you out.
All right, guys, so yes, you're gonna get a lot of trash inside these units, and both Eric and I hope that you don't. We hope that your first unit is a banger and you can sell 98% of that stuff, but that's usually just not the reality. So we live in an apartment complex where we can get away with throwing most of our trash here. However, you're going to have to think about this before you buy your first storage unit. Have you been to your local dump? Do you know how far your local dump is? Do you know what the hours are? Because if you're going to use the local dump and you have 48 hours to get rid of that unit, or they're going to keep your deposit fee, because that's usually how it works out, 2 or 3 days. So get organized, know how much money it costs to drop a load at your local dump, know where it's located, and if you're not going to use that method and you have like an apartment complex like we do where you can throw most of your trash, you need to be careful with that too. Make sure it's not a lease violation and make sure it doesn't cause you any problems. All right.
Another tip you're going to need to think about when buying your first storage unit is your vehicle. So, we own 2 SUVs. I have a small one, Ken has a bigger one, and you want to start off, like, I'm not trying to insult anybody here or anything, but if you have a smaller car or a smaller vehicle, you need to stay away from anything that has lots of furniture in it, because how are you going to get rid of it? Then now you're spending your money on getting someone to haul it away. It can be a nightmare. So, or you're using a sledgehammer to break it down to fit in your car. Ken's had to do that a couple of times. You really want to bid on like 5x5s or 5x10s that are mostly filled with totes, boxes, bags, things like that. Maybe some miscellaneous items like, TV screens, stuff like that, because you don't want to get yourself into a predicament where now you have all this furniture and how are you going to move it?
The next important step is knowing where are you going to sell the items once you find them. Now, if you're not doing this for a hobby and just looking for cool items for personal use, you're going to want to be able to sell these items. And the first thing you need to do is have an eBay account. eBay is the biggest online marketplace, and there's going to be plenty of items that you find inside storage units that just aren't going to be able to sell locally. They're going to need a broader, larger audience, a customer base, so you can sell these items for top dollar and make profits on your storage unit. So before you get started bidding on any storage units, I want to make sure you have an eBay account and you at least got a history of selling 3 or 4 items, so you know the process and you can instantly put these items you find inside a storage unit up for sale on eBay. Other options for the larger items are garage sales. Erica and I live in an apartment, so we can't do garage sales, but if you have a house, a garage sale is a great place to sell the items that you find inside storage units that are too large to ship on eBay or are just not quite profitable enough to throw on the online marketplace. You might find 200 children's books, which you can get a quick $40 for, but you really can't ship 200 children's books for an affordable price. So it's best to sell that somewhere like a garage sale or Facebook Marketplace, which is what we use when it comes to larger items or big lots that we are trying to get rid of locally. You know, there's things that you consistently find inside storage units like ladders and bicycles and furniture if you bid on those types of units. So you got to know where to sell them.
Like, subscribe, and follow for more. See you next time.